And I assure you can do it. It's quite an amusement if you can do it. For it reveals so much. And I feel that's the only way to tackle a fundamental problem of this kind. You must tackle a problem which is very deep, profoundly, not at a superficial level. And this problem of loneliness, despair, with which most of us are somewhat or rare moments acquainted. Is not a thing to be dissolved by merely running off into some kind of amusement or worship. It is always there. Until you are capable of dealing with it directly and experiencing it directly, without any verbalization, without any screen between yourself and it. What have you to say to a person who in quiet moments sees the truth of what you say, who has a longing to keep awake, but who finds himself repeatedly lost in a sea of impulse and small desires? What have you to say to a person who in quiet moments sees the truth of what you say, who has a longing to keep awake, but who finds himself repeatedly lost in a sea of impulse and small desires? This is what happens to most of us, doesn't it? We're awake at moments, at other moments we're asleep. Moments we see clearly everything with significance, at other moments confused, dark, mystic. Sometimes there are extraordinary heights of joy, unrelated to any kind of action. At other moments we struggle for that. Now what is one to do? Should one memorize, keep awake to those things that we have caught a glimpse of, and hang on to them grimly? Or should we deal with the little desires, impulses, the dark things of our life as they arise from moment to moment? Make effort, discipline ourselves to resist, to overcome the petty little things, and hold on, keep our eyes fixed on the horizon. That's what most of us want, isn't it? Because that's so much easier. At least we think so. To look to an experience that is over, that has given us a great delight, a joy, and hold it, like some old people who do, look to their youth. Or like some other people who look to the future, to next life, to some greatness which they are going to achieve next time, tomorrow or 100 years hence. That is, there are those who sacrifice the present through the past, enriching the past, and those who enrich the future. They're both the same. Only different sets of words are employed, but the same phenomena is there. Now what is one to do? First one must find out why we want to cling to an experience. Pleasurable, or avoid something which is not pleasurable. Why do we go through this process of holding on, clinging to something, which we think has given us a great joy, physically or inwardly psychologically. Why do we do this? Why has an experience that is over is more important? Because don't we feel that without that extraordinary experience, what is there in the present? The present is an awful bore, sour. Therefore let me think of the past. The present is irksome, nagging, bothersome. Therefore let me be something, at least a Buddha or Christ or God knows what in the future. So the past and the future become only useful or pleasant when we do not understand the present. And against the present we discipline. Against the present we resist. Because take away the past, and what are you? All your experiences, your knowledge, your accumulations, your enrichment. And with that past, you meet the present. Therefore, you are really never meeting the present. You are merely overshadowing the present by the past or the future. And we discipline ourselves to understand the present. Say, I mustn't think of the past or I mustn't think of the future. I am going to be concentrated in the present. You see the fallacy, the absurdity, the infantility of thinking yourself some marvelous entity tomorrow or in the past. And you see the absurdity of that and you say, now I must understand. Can you understand anything through discipline? Through compulsion? You may force a boy to be quiet outwardly by discipline, but inwardly it's seething, isn't it? Likewise, when we force ourselves to understand, is there any understanding? But if we can see the futilities, real futilities, see the significance of our movement of attachment to the past or to the becoming of something in the future, really understand, then that gives sensitivity to the mind to meet the present. So our difficulty is not the understanding of the present. Our difficulty is the attachment to the past or to the future. So we have to investigate why it is that we are attached. Why has the past, as with some old people and with other people, so important as the future? Why are we so attached? Because we think, is it not, the experiences have enriched us. The past has significance. When one is young, one has caught a light on the sea, that glimmer. There's a new freshness which has faded now. So at least I can remember that glimmer, that extraordinary sense of hello, that feeling of otherness, of youth. So I go back and live there. That is, I live in a dead experience. It's over and it is dead and it's gone, but yet I give it life by thinking about it, living it. But it's a dead thing. do that, I'm also dead in the present. Like so many people are. Or in the future. Because in other words, I am afraid to be nothing in the present. To be simple in the present. And to be sensitive to the present. Because I am enriched by my experiences of yesterday. And is that enrichment? Are the experiences of yesterday enriching? Tell you have the memory of them. Is memory riches? Or merely words with very little content? Well, you can see that for yourself if you experiment. When we look to enrichment of the past, we are living on words. We give to the past life. The past has no life in itself. It has only life in relationship to the present. And when the present is disagreeable, we give it life. And that surely is not enrichment. When you are aware that you are rich, you are surely poor. To be aware of yourself as being something obviously denies that which you are. If you are aware that you are virtuous, you are no longer virtuous, surely. If you are aware that you are happy, where is happiness? Happiness comes only when there is self-forgetfulness, when there is no the sense of the me as important. But the me becomes important, the self becomes important when the past or the future become all significant. So mere discipline of oneself to be something can never bring about that state of being in which there is not self-consciousness as the me.
You've been listening to J. Krishnamurti in one of a series of lectures called